So far in the month of October, in these first 4 days, I made £5,800, which equates into roughly about $8,000, give or take. Let me in fact refresh this page to show that these are real numbers and that I'm not faking anything. And I did this through selling AI solutions to businesses in my marketing agency. And in today's video, I'll show you exactly how I've been able to do that so that you can pretty much go ahead and copy me entirely. So I'll walk you through two specific things today. Number one, how to actually create an extremely irresistible offer that allows you to acquire such types of clients, and exactly what I've done with my offer to acquire clients like that. But the second thing that I'm gonna walk you through is how to actually acquire these clients with a specific method that I haven't really seen many people out there talk about. But that specific method allowed me to literally spend $139 to acquire a client that was worth £17,940 for me over a period of a couple of months, which equates into roughly about $24,000. So if you do the math, that's about an actual ROI on my money spent of about 174x, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm very excited to share with you what that method is. But before I do, let me walk you through the actual offer creation process first, because that is an extremely important part of the entire process. So the very first thing that you actually have to do, and what I've done with my offer, is I just serve one specific niche. And you want to do something similar like this as well. Because if you work with all sorts of different niches, then to these prospects, you're gonna appear as a generalist, not as an actual niche expert. But if you work with just one niche, then it allows you to position yourself as an expert, which increases your close rate as well, and the desire for clients to work with you, because they will see that you actually understand their industry extremely much in detail. But the second thing it allows you to do as well is that you make it much easier for you to actually fulfill for these clients, because you can just simply copy paste the exact same solution for every single client because they are just in one specific niche. So make sure that you pick one niche and you serve that one niche. And the second thing is to sell them exactly what they want. Because every business out there, they pretty much want more revenue. They want growth for their actual business. They don't want some specific little thing, like a little solution as an example. They want actual growth for their company that allows them to make more money. So sell them a solution that will get them more money. And the way how you do that is through basically solving for every single possible bottleneck that will prevent them from getting to making more revenue. So figure out what could be every single failure scenario that they would experience that would prevent them from actually making more money, and solve for every single bottleneck, so that this way when you actually pitch them and they look at your offer, they see that there is literally no way to fail here, because you solve for every single issue they would experience that will prevent them to actually getting to more revenue. And this is where you then basically combine multiple AI tools together to make it much more simple, much faster, and more efficient to get to that goal of making more revenue. And really the way how you kind of do that is through identifying why the top 1% of businesses in that specific niche are very, very successful, and basically just copy them, okay? Because the other 99% want to make more money, but they don't know what they need to kind of do, right? Or maybe they don't have the resources or the systems to actually get there. And usually that comes down to them having really good lead flow, strong intake, and being good at sales. That's usually the main three things that these top 1% businesses in most niches have in place that allows them to be ridiculously successful. So have a solution for every single one of those three things and sell that as a solution to the other 99% that want to actually get to making more revenue. And this is where, like I said, you then integrate multiple AI solutions together to solve for every single one of those issues with lead flow, intake, and sales. So this way it's much easier and more efficient for them to actually get to that 1% using AI in our modern age right now. So here's kind of like an example of the service that I'm selling myself right now, which you can pretty much take an inspiration from. The very first thing is the lead generation, where we do that through a combination of Facebook and Google Ads. So you can do something similar like this as well. And I would recommend you to just simply go ahead and hire a media buyer off of Upwork or School Communities as an example, where you pay them anywhere between $500 to maximum $1,000 per client per month to actually generate the leads for the client. Because the issue is that if you come to that specific client and you tell them that, hey, I'll build an intake agent for you, or I'll build a content agent for you, or I'll do this or I'll do that, well, the issue is that you might not be able to close the deal because the client has another problem, which is lead generation. They do not generate enough consistent qualified leads for that intake agent to even do any work in a sense. So that's why you want to solve for lead generation first. And the way how we kind of do that, the AI stack that we use within my own company is through a combination of HeyGen and ChatGPT. Now, if you don't know what HeyGen is, it's basically this platform right here where you can use AI to pretty much create UGC videos that you can use to create ads for your clients. And there's hundreds of creators that you can choose from. Just punch in the script and then it creates a video, and then you have some really good ad videos that you can use for the clients. But then also use ChatGPT to come up with some content ideas in terms of the actual script and also the hook and the headline and the call to action and things like that. So we combine those two together, and that works really well. And the second thing that we do as well is we pretty much help them with the intake. So this is where you want to help them solve that intake issue as well. And the best tools that I've seen to do that is through using Synthflow on high level. Now, Synthflow is basically a platform where you can create agents for calling leads and things like that. And go high level is where you can host their foundational things such as the landing page, the email workflows. You can also build out AI chatbot agents that actually send messages to prospects as well, which is exactly what we are currently doing with our clients as well. So this is something that you can do for your partners as well, basically. And I would recommend you to just simply go ahead and hire a AI agent developer, which you can also find on School Communities or alternatively on Upwork. And I would recommend to pay anywhere between $750 to $1,000 max per client per build out. And then the third thing that you also want to help your clients with is the sales aspect of things, because a lot of businesses out there, they are quite terrible at sales in a sense. And the way how we kind of do that is through using ChatGPT and Fathom and a couple other things as well. But basically with Fathom, which is this AI note taker that can hop on their Zoom calls, you can use it to create recordings for every single sales call that they take. And then you can take the transcript of those recordings, put it into ChatGPT with an AI agent in a sense, and it pretty much creates a summary of the entire call and also feedback on what went good and what went bad, so you can provide some additional feedback to the client like that as well. But the other thing that I would really recommend you to do is to create an actual script that you can give to your clients, a script using ChatGPT where it will basically increase their chances of closing their clients to a significantly higher percentage. And the last thing that also we do within my agency is we sell content to these clients as well as an entire package. So we do lead generation, we solve the issue with lead generation. We then build out these AI agents in the intake, so we help them with that. And on top of that, we also help them with sales through coaching and these AI agents and ChatGPT and Fathom, which allows them to have even more feedback on sales. And on top of that, we also produce content for them where this way we can also generate some organic leads for them, and also these people that we book on their calendar are significantly more nurtured because they consume content prior to the actual sales call with the client. And the AI stack that we use right here is ChatGPT, ElevenLabs, Submagic, and HeyGen. So with HeyGen, we create AI UGC videos that we can pretty much post on their social media accounts if the client is not willing to record the videos themselves. And with ChatGPT, we come up with content ideas for which specific videos to create. And then Submagic is actually this tool right here that allows you to use AI to completely automate the entire video editing process for short form content using AI, which is some really good stuff in a sense. You can use that as well. But then ElevenLabs allows us to basically go ahead and clone a client's voice, so that this way we can have videos with B-rolls as an example, right? And then the client's voice is over it, and we can have some really good content like that created as well. But in general, the styles of content we've seen working really well are reaction videos, educational videos, Q&As, and also just simply results. So this way you have a combination of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel content. And I would recommend you to go ahead and hire a content VA for about $150 per month per client. So this way they can go ahead and create some content for the client, anywhere between 10 to 15 to 20 videos a month in the short form content style, and basically post on the client's social media account as well. So the second thing that you want to really do after knowing the actual service itself, you want to now create an actual offer that is going to allow you to book a good amount of calls. And the best way how to do that is just simply funnel hacking other agencies within your niche and also other niches on the Facebook ads library, and finding out what specific offers they are running that are working really, really well for them. Because if they have an offer they've been running for quite some time, preferably about 14 to 30 days or even older than that, then chances are that offer is working really well for them. So if you basically take that offer and change a couple things there, here and there, to make it a little bit more unique to you, then chances are that that is going to work really, really well for you as well. So if you go into the Facebook ads library, there's a couple of specific keywords that you can actually use right here to find out these agencies. For example, you can use roofers guaranteed, or you can use some other keywords that I've all listed right here, where you include a niche followed by appointments or leads guaranteed or pay. Niche, then specific industry terms such as estimates, for example, is a very industry specific term for landscapers, roofers, as an example, right? You can also just simply include a niche followed by guaranteed or you don't pay, and then you'll see a bunch of different ads popping up from other agencies that use those specific keywords. So here's as an example one that's been running for literally more than a year from this person right here, where he is basically guaranteeing 60 qualified appointments in the next 90 days or you don't pay. So if he's been running these ads for quite some time like this, then chances are that it's working quite well for him. And then you can do the research and see a bunch of other ones that are being run as well. For example, with this one, roofers, if you have 2 or more crews capable of taking on more projects, then we will basically guarantee you 5 roofing jobs every month, as an example, right? Here's for another niche in the niche of med spas. 100 new appointments every 30 days guaranteed, you don't pay, and you also pay us only per client. And this has been running for a couple months now as well, so chances are it's working quite well for them. So you just really want to include some of these specific keywords that I have out listed right here, and just spend about 2 to 3 hours at least to find out a lot of different offers that are working really, really well in other niches and also in your niche, and then write them down. And now then what you want to do is you just want to add your unique spin to it, that specific offer, by changing some specific keywords, unique mechanism names, and or basically changing up the timeline. Then you can actually get them that specific result. And like I said, if these have been running for quite some time, then chances are that if you take it yourself and make just a tiny amount of adjustments so it's a bit more unique to you, then chances are that it's going to work quite well for you as well, basically. Now, the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that with these offers, you'll see that they have some extremely crazy guarantees. For example, right here, 100 appointments in 30 days guaranteed or you don't pay, and you also pay us only per client that we actually get you. Now, if you do not feel fully confident in yourself that you can deliver the result, that's completely fine, because all that you really have to do is you have to market that offer. But when you get that specific prospect on a sales call with you, you can downsell them to a different offer that's much easier for you to deliver, but it's still something that they would actually like. And the way how you really do this is you want to sit down, you want to hypothesize what are all the requirements a client needs to have in order for you to actually get them that main offer that you might be marketing, as an example. And that could be, for example, $1,000 a day in ad spend that they need to have, or maybe they need to have a relatively high close rate of such as like 50%. Maybe they need to be able to, travel to their clients to maybe, let's say, do their landscaping job or change the roof or install the HVAC or whatever it might be, and they need to be able to travel across the entire state, as an example. Just sit down and figure out all the requirements they need to have to make it really impossible for you not to get them that result. And then when you're on a sales call with them, you can tell them that, hey, look, I can get you this offer, but here are the requirements that we have. If you do not qualify for that, that's completely fine, because we have a different offer. And this is where you then sell them on the downsell offer, where you want to sit down and think about what is something that you can deliver to them in terms of a 90-day timeline that is significantly more simple for you, is not as risky for you, but at the same time something that they would actually really like. And that could be 50 appointments in 90 days. It could be 100 leads in 90 days. It could be 30 estimates in 2 months, whatever that might be. And the best way to really do this is for you to kind of sit down with your media buyer that you basically hired, as an example, and see what he or she thinks would be doable in terms of the marketing perspective, right? And this way you are able to together figure out what could be the actual downsell offer that you can sell them on. And the last thing to the offer creation process is that you want to sell this as a 90-day program, basically, and then you want to package that into a price point of anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 for the period of 90 days. For us specifically, that's kind of the price range that we charge for our clients, basically. So you want to do something similar, make sure that you charge at least 5 figures for the solution, or else there is just not too much profit left, in a sense, after you count in the marketing acquisition costs and things like that. And I personally wouldn't really just want to deal with clients that pay less than $10,000. And then what you do after the 90 days, once the 90 days are up, you want to switch to a maintenance fee that is between $2,000 to $2,500 per month. So this way you're giving them a massive discount compared to what they paid in the first 3 months. But the only caveat is that you're now integrating a performance fee. So this way you have guaranteed cash flow coming in from that monthly retainer, but then most of your money is actually made on the performance fee. And if you have clients that are really happy with your service and you're delivering an amazing service to them, then that performance fee could be worth a lot of money to you, because if you scale that client, then the more money they make, the more money you make yourself, and eventually that client could be worth to you like $10,000 per month 15K per month, and you just stack up a couple clients like that, and you can get to like $100,000 a month from just having a couple clients alone, and that's really about it. So that's how you go and create the actual offer. Now, just a quick side note, if you want to work with me directly one-on-one, where I can help you create this offer like that, and also walk you through how to book calls, how to close more deals, give you all the SOPs in terms of client fulfillment and everything that I've used in my own agency to scale it to about $50,000 per month, which it is at the current moment, then you'll be able to find a link in the description down below where I walk you through the actual funnel where you can book an appointment with me, schedule in, and fill out a form. But with that being said, let's go on to the second thing which I want to walk you through today, is how to actually book calls and how I was able to close a client from spending just $139 and that client being worth to me $24,000 long term. It came through this method of using paid communities. Now, I haven't really seen too many people out there talk about this method like I mentioned, but the whole idea of this entire method is for you to find paid communities in your niche where your ideal clients are in and pay money to get access to those communities. And now you have access to hundreds, if not thousands of prospects that you could sell to. So if you think about it, imagine how crazy this is. You could pay money to get access to a community where there is hundreds, if not even thousands of people, of roofers, of landscapers, of med spa owners, or whatever it might be, whatever your niche is, that have paid that amount of money to be in that community where they have proven that they are interested to actually grow their business because they paid money to get access to that specific community. So chances are that if they paid money to be there, they will pay you as well if you have a really good offer. And that's the whole idea as to why I was walking you through the offer creation process first, because if you have a really good offer, then this method of booking calls through paid communities could work really, really well. So like I said, as you can see right here, this was for one of my previous agencies that I used to run a couple years ago. I enrolled into this community right here for $139 a month on November 6th of 2021. And I closed this specific client right here where they paid us the very first $4,000 retainer on November 30th, 2021. And then as you can see, we billed them quite a bit more times after that, where the total worth of that client was, as I said, $24,000. So the acquisition cost was just $139 to acquire a client that's worth $24,000, and the ROI is 174x. Or something crazy like that. So how do you actually get access to these communities? Well, you first of all have to find them. And the ways how I've seen to find them is through using podcasts, YouTube, or Google search, for example. Now, there's a couple of specific keywords that you could use for finding these communities on Google. As an example, you just want to include your niche. And then after that, you want to include some sort of a keyword that is related to like a course or like an academy or like a mastermind of some sort. So whatever specific keyword they typically use to actually including course names and things like that. So this way, through Google SEO, it's gonna find some platforms out there that have some paid communities. Here is, for example, one for landscapers, right? And they also have this thing of join a community of landscapers growing faster together. So you actually do get access to the community. Now, you do want to do your due diligence right here to actually make sure that these guys would be a good investment. Like if I look at the screenshot right here, for example, it looks like they have a Facebook group of these landscapers basically, but you just want to funnel hack these guys, include some information here, and then just simply go through their funnels and see what they kind of have going on right here. For example, let's see. So this one is $97 a month as an example, and you get access to a community. Here it also outlines everything that they offer in the entire thing. And what I would do if I would want to enroll into this community is I would actually go ahead, find their email, or maybe reach out to them on Instagram, to this guy right here that owns the community, and seems like he is still quite active because he last posted on the 10th of September. So what I would do is I would reach out to him and I would ask him, hey, out of curiosity, how many, landscapers do you have in your community? And you want to structure your, message there where it doesn't seem like you're a marketer in a sense, because, if you join in that community, the last thing you want is for them to see that you're a marketer that's going to sell to their customers. Some communities allow it, but most communities are not going to allow it, which means that you could basically get into a situation where you pay all this money to get access to the community, and then you mess up because they figure out that you're a marketer and they just basically kick you out. So this way you lost all your money. That's why you need to be very careful. That's one of the main downsides with this method. But you want to reach out to them by email or by Instagram, whatever, and just kind of like carefully construct your message where you just ask them how many people are in the community. And if they tell there's just a couple people, then it's not really worth your investment. But if they said there's a couple hundred, for example, then it could be worth considering. So as an example here, we search on MedSpa's Growth Academy. We can find some platforms right here. As you can see that this one doesn't seem to be the one that we might be looking for. But then we have this one, which allows them to actually grow their MedSpa business, right? So this could be, an option that you could basically look into. Let's search up, for example, HVAC Growth Academy. Let's see what they have going on right here. So here is one with these guys. They have some sort of a coaching program right here going on for HVAC businesses. That could be worth considering as well. You could also use YouTube for this. It works really, really well. Just basically include specific keywords such as, let's say if you're in the niche of roofers, you can include specific search keywords on YouTube, such as grow your roofing business, acquisition for roofing businesses, booking appointments for roofing businesses, getting clients for roofing businesses, and you'll see a bunch of different videos. And then you just go through those channels and see which ones have some specific communities they're selling. Here's, for example, one from Roofing Insights. They have some sort of a, platform here, which is the roofing school on how to grow your roofing business. So this could be worth considering as an example. They have a price breakdown right here of about $197 a month for access to videos, and I assume you also probably get access to a community as well. If something is not clear, you can always email them for that specific community and ask them, hey, do you include also access to like a specific group community with other roofers for the specific price and things like that? But another bonus with these communities, by the way, is that not only do you pay money to get access to a platform where you can actually get clients from, but also you get access to content and material that you can actually use to improve your client service delivery even more. Because if you, for example, work with roofers, imagine this, you pay $197 a month to get access to the community. You have a pool of other roofers that you can sell to, and they have also paid money to get access to this community. So chances are that they'll pay you as well are significantly high. But on top of that, you also get access to 500 plus videos that you can basically learn from and see how you can deliver even better results for your clients. So here's another one from this person right here that works in the landscaping industry. He runs his own landscaping business and also coaches other people how to do the same exact thing. He's got a community right here in the description section down below, which costs literally $49 a month. Now, there is not too much information right here listed with how many people actually are in the community. So I will reach out to him. I will try to find his email, or maybe just reach out on Instagram and ask how many people are within the community to make sure there is enough people in a sense. And I literally just use the search keyword, get more landscaping clients as an example, right? To find these guys. So you just want to spend a couple hours and find multiple different communities and see which ones you can actually enroll in. And like I said, chances are if they have spent money to get access to the community themselves, then, if you enroll in there and pitch them, then chances are that they'll actually go and work with you as well. Now, the way how you actually get clients through these communities is that, when you enroll in there, you want to provide as much value as you can in that group section where they are in, where you can post posts in basically, right? You want to provide as much value as you physically can. People, other landscapers or whatever your niche is, they might be asking questions. You want to answer those questions, provide value to them, connect with some people and things like that. And then the ones that are interested, they will ask you if they can actually work with you, or you can also pretty much in the DM section somewhere there have a soft pitch. For example, if somebody is asking a question in the post section, you can reach out to them and provide some value, build those connections, build that relationship, and then eventually say that, hey, by the way, I can hop on a call with you. If you're interested, we can talk about how you can optimize this specific issue or that specific issue. And then you hop on a call and actually build a relationship with them, and then eventually they go and start working with you. So the main idea here is not to kind of like do outreach per se. It's more as of like provide value, build relationships. And as you do that, these relationships then eventually turn into actual close clients, which is exactly what I did with this specific client right here that was worth $24,000 for me. But the only downside with this specific method, well, the main two downsides is that number one, you get the chance of actually getting banned and kicked out from the community if you really mess up there, where they figure out that you're a marketer and maybe somebody in that community reaches out to the owner of the community saying that, hey, this person is selling some stuff, right? So this way you could pay all this money, which could be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get access to it, and you just basically get kicked out. But the other downside is that some of these communities could cost quite a bit of money. For example, this one right here that I just found as well with MedSpa's, it costs close to $4,000 basically. Now you can find some cheap communities like the ones that I just showed you that are just a couple $100 a month. You can also find some like very expensive academies that are multiple thousands of dollars. So really look into whatever is your financial situation, like what could you invest in basically. But one thing is that if you do get the chance of enrolling into a relatively expensive one that costs a couple $1,000s, then chances are that if you go to those people in that community and you also build a relationship and they figure out that you actually can help them grow, well, chances are that they are going to be willing to pay you 10K, 15K, 20K are relatively high because they already paid $4,000 to enroll into basically like a course in a sense. Right? So that's the only other thing right there as well. But you have to be very careful with the way how you actually post value in these communities and things like that. So that's exactly what I used to actually get that particular client right here closed, and it worked really, really well. So you can go ahead and basically use this method as well. But with that being said, guys, that should be pretty much it for today's video. Like I said, if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, then you will find a link in the description section down below that leads you to this landing page right here where you can apply to work with me one-on-one. But other than that, I hope that you guys found this video valuable, and yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next one.